Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a book review for a poetry anthology called Under Her Eye, a Women in Horror Poetry Showcase, Volume 2. The first volume was called Under Her Skin, and this volume is all focused around domestic horror. So the issues facing women in their own homes, including all kinds of abuse. And this anthology was edited by Lindy Ryan and Lee Murray, and it was published on November 7th, 2023 by Black Spot Books. Horror poetry has been a new obsession of mine. I love it so much. It's a newfound love. And so when I saw this anthology that included a lot of names that I recognize from horror poetry as well as horror, indie horror in general, I jumped on the opportunity to review this. I did not know that it was all about domestic abuse at the time, which is a very difficult topic to read about, obviously. This was a very heart-wrenching collection, but it was also beautiful and it felt really honest. This anthology has over 100 poems by just as many authors. So there is a lot of poetry to consume and lots of new authors to find if their poetry style meshes with your tastes. I found personally many poets that I want to read more from. So since it's by over 100 different poets, there are many different writing styles and approaches to the topic and a lot of different stories, because everybody's experience and stories are different. I thought with over 100 poems, the topic was a little bit too narrow to have like a lot of the same sort of topics going on, but the ones that I like the most are the ones that stood out the most as being really different, having their own flavor and voice and that sort of thing. A lot of them were more straightforward and, just really brutally honest and just harsh. And some were more full of metaphors or one big metaphor that turned this topic of domestic horror into an actual horror trope or story, which were the ones that I ended up liking the most. However, I liked most of the poems in this collection. Most of them were really good. The ones that are not particularly to my taste are the ones that are more abstract and are not particularly clear what the actual message and meaning behind it is, and you just kind of get a feeling, like the emotion that probably it's supposed to evoke, but don't have a clue what it actually means. I don't necessarily like those kinds of poems, but there was only a few of those out of over 100, so It was a pretty great anthology overall. And some people like that kind of poem more, so it's all about personal taste. But with the varying styles, it's good to kind of get a taste of the different ways people go about horror poetry. And it's a very important topic, um, and very important stories that these women were telling. Whether it was them, I don't know personally if it was them or someone they knew or what, but really, 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 really touched me. And there are resources in the back of the book that I noticed for if for women that want to get help for domestic issues. Other than it being a bit long to have such a narrow focus for the topic, I thought this was a fantastic anthology and I gave it 4 stars. Let me know if you think you might be interested in checking this out. Have you read any horror poetry before? If so, let me know what you've read, and I'll be back very soon with another book related video. Thanks. Bye.